Hey there. So, about 10 years ago, my family went on a trip to Disney World down in Florida. So, as part of this trip, of course, we were really excited to get down to Disney and to do all the fun things. And in fact, it was Star Wars weekend. And so all the characters are going to be down there and be able to take pictures as well as do all the regular Disney stuff that one does when they go. While that was fun, to be honest with you, just as memorable as the actual Disney experience was the road trip down there with my family. You see, a friend of mine helped put together some different gifts and projects to do on the way down. So for example, at 10 a.m. on that Friday morning of the trip, we had aluminum foil that the boys got out. And then there was a list of different things with their aluminum foil that they were able to make and challenged to make on the way down. Another project was they got a set of Legos, and so they built that set. And then a little while later, they were asked to build a house with that set of Legos, and so they built that. And one of the things that they actually opened was those little fart noise makers where you'd stick your finger in, I think, and it would make fart noises. Well, for the boys and I, it was a lot of fun. I think by hour 3 or 4 of the fart noises, my wife was getting a little annoyed. But the point is, that trip down for me was just as much fun with the family as the actual experience down there. So for those of you that might not know, I'm actually a big movie buff, and one of my favorite movies is Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. So in that movie, in case you don't know, the point of the movie is there is a ring that the hobbits need to get from the Shire to the mountain where they're going to throw it in the lava and destroy and stop all evil from taking over the world, right? And so while that's the point of the movie, the real gist of the movie is the actual journey in between. You see, it takes these hobbits that are living this simple life and takes them on this trip where they grow and develop so that they're able to make it to the mount together in relationship. And the fun of the story is watching the characters actually grow into who they are and who they're going to become to finish this task off. So sometimes we get wrapped up into these big events, right? We get wrapped up into, for example, Christmas, right? We get so focused on Christmas, on actual Christmas Day, and what presents are we going to get our kids, or, oh my gosh, what clothes exactly are we going to wear? And so we spend a lot of Christmas, instead of spending time together as a family, we're focused on doing online shopping, or we're going to malls to pick out just the right gift. When in reality, 6 months from then, most of the kids aren't even going to be able to remember what gift they got. Okay? So a lot of this is just figuring out as a family, how are we in this journey? How are we growing together? How are our kids going from point A to point B to the person that God is calling them to be? So the problem is that sometimes we completely leave out the journey itself. In the book of Luke, after Jesus has risen from the dead, you have 2 disciples walking down the road. And while they're walking down the road, this guy comes and starts walking with them. Now, this person starts asking them questions about what are they doing? What's going on? And the 2 disciples get so intrigued that they invite the person to come down, sit down, and enjoy a meal together. It's at that point in time then that Jesus actually reveals who he is to them. Now, the story could have gone, hey, there were 2 disciples. Jesus revealed himself. End of story. But the way the story is written, that's not the point. Now, okay, it's a really big deal, right, that Jesus has risen from the grave and is alive. But the point is watching these 2 people explain to Jesus and Jesus talking to them and walking with them and the relationship that is getting built, right? That's the point of the story. So this whole idea of journey is part of who we are as Christians, and it's part of our faith development and growth together as a community. So in this Christmas season, I encourage you to think about how you are doing life together. In fact, there's a link below, and you can find it at Christmas at Calvary where you can find different things as a family you can do together to help prepare you, whether it's reading the Bible, fun activities you guys can do as a family to grow closer to God and to learn more about God's story. So I invite you to take some time to journey together during this Christmas season as a family.